Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Ricky2ra Podcast, episode 40. And yeah, it's this is going to be one of them episodes again, guys. I'm still trying to get used to a new routine and setup with the podcast. So yeah, this is going to be like a freestyle episode up until I get things right as well. But yeah, I'm still trying to get this mic set up properly as well. So it's just all going to come in you know what, I'm not even going to touch the microphone because it took me forever to set it up again. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well. Let's just take this one step at a time. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everyone is keeping safe. Yeah, it's lockdown 3.0. I keep forgetting which lockdown we're on. It doesn't feel like a lockdown, and I know I've said that in the second one as well. The only thing for me is probably just the barbers are closed, but like I said in the last episode, man, got that trim beforehand. And yeah, I hope you guys have been keeping busy during this, if you're working or if you're starting like a new hobby or passion that you've discovered at home. Yeah, just keeping your mind off all the things that are going on, especially here in the UK as well, because when you turn the news on, it's depressing, man. Like, come on, let's be honest. It's depressing. So yeah, I'm happy because Man United won yesterday, top of the table. So the big game is against Liverpool on Sunday. So that should be interesting. And yeah, it's going to be a weird one because I haven't seen Man United go top of the table for a while now. So yeah, that should be interesting. But anyway, normally I'd say let's get into what we're going to talk about. I'm just going to freestyle this episode like I did with the last one because I haven't made any topics, and I think I want a bit of a change as well. I think I'm going to change the title and stuff of the episode, so whatever I feel like is going to be more relevant to what I talk about, I'm going to just name it with one name, and then I'm just going to write everything else in the description. I feel like that makes it more easier to just read, because I used to put all the 4 topics in the title, and I'm trying to look at stuff this year as in if I would watch or listen to it myself. And I feel like the most important thing is just putting the most important title in the front and then putting the rest in the description. So to be honest, like if I was listening to my own stuff, yes, I'd read the title and stuff, but I feel like it's too long sometimes when you have all the 4 topics and it just takes forever to read, when it's just too long. So yeah, I'm just making a slight change to that as well. What else? This is the beauty of the podcast, because I can just literally talk about anything that I want to, really. There's no, yes, I know I should have planned and stuff like that, but it's kind of like do you know how just performers in, okay, I'm going to go specifically for magicians in general know how to work like impromptu. So if something does happen to go wrong in like a set or a routine, they can bring it back as well, and they'll learn over time how to adapt and to pull off something that the audience don't even know that's gone wrong yet. And you know what, that brings me into a good topic actually that I've just thought of. What happens when magic goes wrong? Have I even talked about that? You know what, let's talk about that. So let's talk about how when magic goes wrong. Ricky, have you made mistakes when doing magic? Yes, 100 millions of times. Especially when I was starting out as well. Still to this day I make mistakes in magic. Obviously I haven't performed in the last year, so but I have made mistakes previously as well. And just like anything, you learn from them. And if something does happen to go wrong, and it's not the spectator's card or it's not their signed coin, blah blah blah, you just move on and you go on to the next effect. And mainly what I've found is that if I didn't pull something off smoothly, I'd go back to something like another effect that I'm very confident of pulling off, that I know like it's second nature, and yeah, then I'd just blow the minds with that really, and they kind of forget about it, that blunder or that unsmoothness from the previous effect, but they can tell that they appreciate like you coming back from a minor setback and not pulling, but like blowing their minds, entertaining them with the next effect. And did I make? I think I made loads of mistakes. I'm just trying to think. I think I've even done it at paid. Why am I saying I think? I have done them at paid events as well, because even though people pay you to do magic at events, it's not gonna go smoothly all the time. Like, yes, you will have just nice events that just go perfectly, and fair enough, like I've had them as well. But if you get like something wrong at an event, like the spectator thinks like, what? Like, and then you just kind of bring it. I don't really know how to explain it, because this is, especially when this is like just off the top of my head as well, it's kind of just like you learn from it. Like it's hard to explain from a magician's point of view, because we have so many things running in our mind when showing somebody some magic. So we always think about the different outcomes that may happen if the one that we want to happen doesn't happen. If you know what I mean, if you're still with me. So let's say I was doing a magic effect on someone, and I say pick a card, and I put it back into the pack. I'm doing some sleight of hand moves. Let's say I don't do that sleight of hand move properly. I lose the card, right? And I'm looking at the spectator's looking at the cards. I'm there thinking, okay, what shall I do now because I've lost the card? This makes sense to a load of magicians. If you're just a normal non-magician, yes, you might know what I'm talking about, but if you don't, fair enough, I don't expect you to know. But if you like lose it and you can't control, you can't do this and that, you're going to have to come up with something on the spot. And I feel like every other time, you get put into that moment, you'll learn even more, and you'll think like, oh yeah, this happened last time. I know exactly what to do now. So yeah, that's basically how I'm thinking at the moment with this podcast. You see how I'm bringing it all together? I'm getting better. I feel like I'm getting better at these podcasts. I hope so. But yeah, that's just my take on magic going wrong. And for stage as well, it's hard for stage, because I've done stage magic in the past, but I've done it at a basic level, so I kind of know what I'm doing, and it's kind of not as a high risk payout, if you know what I mean. But there probably will be mistakes on stage in the future, and that'll just be even more eyes on me to what I want to do, and it'll be new experience. And hey, I'm all for the mistakes because I can get better from them. So yeah, that was a nice magic kind of talk topic. I hope there are magicians that listen to this or do find this in the future. Yeah, if you are a magician, like, what is your favourite effect that you love to perform at an event? I don't think I've asked. Have I asked? I don't think I've asked questions, on this podcast. Yeah. So if you're a magician, let me know. What is your favourite effect to perform at an event? Has an effect gone wrong? And if so, what did you do to pick it back up, or did you move on? Like, what did you do? And thirdly, let's do a fun one. What's your most favourite event that sticks out of all the gigs that you've done? What's your most favourite event? So, what magic trick's gone wrong? What did you do to bring it back? And what's your favourite event that you performed at? Let's ask questions. Yeah, that'll be fun. If you do happen to listen to this, let me know on Twitter at Ricky2ra, Ricky 2ra. It's the same for Instagram or Facebook, TikTok or Snapchat, or even my YouTube channel. You can let me know in the comments on YouTube if you want as well. It's just that it's kind of fun, actually, as well. If I'm saying myself, what magic trick has gone wrong? I'm just trying to think at an event that I've done. Okay, so I did a birthday gig. I think it was in my first... Oh no, I've done this actually more than once actually, but I managed to bring it back. But I'm going to tell you the first time that it happened. So I was doing a birthday gig, and I was performing in like a little mini tent. Like the birthday gig was outside, but there was like a mini tent as well, and I was performing in there, and I was performing to a group of lads, and I was performing an effect where I asked the I asked the group of lads one of the lads to think of any playing card that he wants, and I think, is it kind of weird that I still remember? This is from like 7 years ago, but anyway, he said like Jack of Spades, and in my pack of cards, I had one card upside down, and it didn't go off. Well, it didn't go to plan because, first of all, on my behalf, I did something wrong beforehand, and second of all, the Jack of Spades was not upside down. The Jack of Spades was just in plain sight, the same way as the rest of the cards. And he was like, that was my card. And I was like, oh, the Jack of Spades. So going into the second thing, I brought it back. How did I bring it back? Because this was the first... I think I got another pack of cards out, and I said, okay, so this card was face up for the Jack of Spades. In my other pack of cards, you see all the cards are face up, but you see... I remember going through this, and I say, if you see, look, this isn't the Jack of Spades, this isn't the Jack of Spades. And then I passed him the deck, and I said, if you spread through, and he was spreading through, and there was one card face down into the face up cards, and he pulled it out, and it was the Jack of Spades. So if there are any magicians that are listening to this, you can kind of figure out what I did, the method to bring it back. As well, if you don't know from there, just let me know, because I don't think I explained it properly. I'm trying to explain it in a non-magic-y way as well. But yeah, that's how I brought it back. And my favourite event that I performed at, which one sticks out? New Year's Eve comes into my head straight away. New Year's Eve 2018 was one hell of an event. It was a party and a half that... what else was it? Yorkshire Entertainment Awards 2018 was a good year, man. Take us back to 2018, where there was no... Where you could just chill, man. There was no worries about germs and stuff like that, man. You know what I mean, though, because we're all very sensitive to stuff like that now. Yeah, I think them two stick out a lot. Yorkshire Entertainment Awards is just... They're blessed. They're very supportive as well. So big shout out to Yorkshire Entertainment Awards. And for New Year's Eve 2018, big shout outs to Elegance and Evelance, really, because that link up's just... It's undefeated, man. So yeah, it's... They're the two that stick out for me for favourite events as well. And hopefully when events restart again, you know, I can have more favourite events as well. But yeah, that was a nice topic about magic that was very unexpected. It just popped up in my mind, really, as well. I'm going to talk about content, and I talk about this all the time. But like I said last week, I took a bit of a gap break just so I could, you know, recharge. And I made a cool snippet video, and I put it on my Instagram and Facebook page as well. And, you know, I think people liked it, and I'm starting to trying to get myself more out there on social media as well, whilst I have the opportunity as well to do so. And yeah, it's something different. You know, I want to try new stuff, and I feel like if you're doing the same thing as last year, you're just going to be in the same place. So you need to do something new, or add something new to what you were doing last year. So that's what I'm trying to do. So, you know, like, just different content styles and stuff like that. I'm trying to do different things and get myself more out there. So this is just me talking in January 2021, basically. We'll see what happens in December 2021. If all of this came true or not, we will see what obstacles lie ahead. Is there any tips for creating content? If you guys are wondering how to create content, you know, I feel like Gary Vee just says it the best, really. So I'd just watch his YouTube or listen to his podcast, really. Gary Vaynerchuk, if you just type that in, or Gary V, if you don't know how to spell Vaynerchuk. So Gary and then V double E. He says it the most, so I'm just kind of digesting and basically saying what he's saying. So I'm kind of like taking this from him, because this isn't any of my ideas, this is just from him. I would probably just see what you're most best at in getting yourself out there. So I've found, for me, it's been on video and talking as well. Even with the magic, you know, people were making videos of me at gigs, or I was making videos of myself doing magic. I didn't necessarily talk in the videos, but hey, here I am. But yeah, that's my strongest point. But if you feel really shy in front of the camera and don't want to talk to a camera, I think I've said this before, try practice and not put it out. So like, just get yourself a phone camera, or if you own a camera, and just hit record and just talk whatever's on your mind, and then look back at it, and then keep doing that every day. I'm not saying to release it on social media, just have a look at it yourself. And then when you feel like you want to, it's time to upload to social media. And I'm going to tell you now, it's never going to be the time. You just have to do it. So I'd probably say set yourself, probably give it 5, because I'm being generous. Record yourself 5 times and then look back at it. And then obviously from the first time, you look back at it, see what you can improve on. Record the second time, look back at it, see what you can improve on. And then as it keeps going on. And then on the 6th one, upload it, and then go from there. But if camera is not your strongest point, well, I haven't done this, but blogging, I don't have any expertise in that, so I'd try look that up somewhere. But otherwise, podcasting, like I'm doing, but just on podcast platforms, not actually recording yourself. So you're just doing it through just a mic or through your phone. That's where I started through. Just on my phone, really using that. I never really used to promote my YouTube videos for the podcast, but now I do. because I'm more comfortable of putting myself out there on different socials. And I think at the end of the day, it's just what you think people will think of you. I think you know deep down that you know you've got this, but I think it's kind of like the judgment of others and stuff. And I think the more you do it, the more you'll realise that it doesn't really have an impact on you what others think, really. But I'm just totally just regurgitating what Gary Vee said, so I just basically check his channel out as well. And I have said in a previous podcast episode that, you know, I was going to talk about Gary Vee, and trust me, the episode is coming. Okay, I know exactly what episode to do it on as well. But episode 40, this is, and we're done. First of all, can you believe, like, I'm talking to myself here, like, I can't believe I've done 40. I say this for, like, nearly every episode, but I'm still doing it somehow. Like, I'm still quite surprised at myself that I'm doing this, as well. But, yeah, is that 40 episodes? Like, my goal was 50. No, my goal was, like, just to do one first, sorry. And then I was going to do, like, take it one step at a time. And then I think I said in, like, episodes, like, oh, yeah, let's get to 10. Let's get to 20. Let's get to 30. And then I think from 30, I said, like, okay, let's get to 50. And I'm, like, 10 away from 50. And this is just a weekly thing. So this is just, like, me just taking my time. I'm not, like, rushing the podcast episode, so there is more preparation this time, like the mic and the lighting. So yeah, there is a little bit more prepping to do, but I like it because it means we're improving. Like, I don't know what's going to happen next. Maybe I might get something else and add it in. Maybe something else with the quality of the audio, maybe, I don't know. I've got, like, a cover for this mic, so if the audio sounds really weird, I apologise. Like, from last episode it seemed alright, but maybe this episode it might go crazy, so I don't know. But I am enjoying it a lot so far, and I hope you guys are with me on this. You know, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. But anyway, I think I'm going to wrap up here, because I don't think I have anything else to talk about at the top of my head. And watch, when I end the podcast episode, I bet you anything that I remember something as well. So how shall we end this? I'll end this by saying, whatever happens now at the start of 2021, make sure that you've got everything set up so your second half of 2021, you're prepared for what comes ahead, meaning that the start of 2021 will look very different to the second half of 2021. Wherever you're living in, whichever country you're living in, I'm sure this applies, but I know for the UK that there are certain things going on at the moment to help get a better second half of the year where we can all go back to normal, kind of. So I would just say prep yourself for the year that's coming ahead. And on that note, I'll see you guys next week in episode 41. I really appreciate for you guys for listening to me for 40 episodes, if you have, or if this is new to you, welcome. I hope you stay for the next 40 episodes as well. So anyway, my name is Ricky2ra, and I'll see you guys next week.